And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Switch it.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
A throw caught by Kumaro. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one complete to his running back, Jamal Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. He's got the hook up to Lazard. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Ravens' 46-yard line.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
This is Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, son. I got you, son. Check 43. Check. Check.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the Ravens' 6-yard line.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Second and 12 at the 28-yard line.
Green 18. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
First down, Green Bay. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Packers 7, Ravens nothing.
258. Check.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
We got 4. 50 seconds to mine. 50 seconds to mine.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
57. Mike, 57.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, had held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. and somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll get this out wide to Allison. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've got to contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back?
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
57 for mine. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 37 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Save.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Green 18. Go, go, go. Kill, kill, kill.
On first down, Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Right here, right here.
They'll try the right side with Jones. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Packers on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
I got motion man. Me. I got this. Go. 57.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Hey, what's the ball?
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report.
57. Check Mike.
Here's Rodgers on third down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
25, check 25, check 25. Check.
This is Ingram. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. On 2nd and 9. Jackson flushed out right. Roberts got it. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. I smell fear in that offense.
Jackson from the shotgun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies cry.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. It's a really nice pickup.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's checking on zone. Crash. Check three. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP. Coach of the Year, John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, the credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
18.
Rodgers now to throw. Looking deep for Adams. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His second touchdown of the night. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the 2, or I should say third and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. After the sack on 1st down, Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Got him in. It's Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 70 yards. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll run it with Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Jones. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 66 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And now the rookie's free. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. From end zone to end zone, it's a 106-yard return. And the Ravens get a bit closer. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Back to you. I'm going back to you. Shift.
Again, it's Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
And the Packer first down.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check 24, check 24.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Patrick Owasor, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
Check Mike 57, Mike 57. I got one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Check, go. Check. Hey, watch this, watch this. Any weapon. Check 49, check 49.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Crunch time, defense. Off. Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
42's Mike. 42's Mike.
You better bring it.
You better squad.
I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
Throwing on second down. Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
57 Mike. 10-30. Jim.
Bravo.
Check Mike 57. Mike 57.
It's been a long day for you.
We didn't get up. 57's Mike.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
57 get up.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. He's got Lewis. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. The touchdown all set up by the big play, 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throws Jackson. Now a desperation, and that's caught inside the 30. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens cut into that lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
I'm coming after you. I'm shoot. Check three, check three, check three. Kill, 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 kill.
From the gun, Jackson. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Rodgers looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Look at the big man rumble. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This is fielded at the goal line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's third down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Brings up third and 9.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. And that'll set them back 5.
That's it, baby.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff.
Yeah, baby. Ready,
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Out, 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 out. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
One last shot for Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It's now 4th down.
Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. He can run for it, and he will. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, an interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone.
My buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rain and it thunder, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what they mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. You still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the former Sooner Austin Seibert to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
What? Move the team. 51. Here we go. Check three. Deuce.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check 24. Check 24.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Good job right there. Good job right there. Good job.
They run it with Carson. And an alley to run. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
You get blocked, me.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Switch.
Wilson leaves this one with Penning. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry for Nick Chubb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Regular.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
That's another Browns 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, alert. Hey, high 7. Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 38 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half, maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Olivier Vernon coming in with some force for the sack that time. Throwing on second and long. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Wilson in the offense, not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Come on, fellas.
The Browns drive about to get started. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. They got a yard on first, 2 on second, and 3 here on third. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. He's going to have the first down past the 20. 22 yards there, a first down. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Wilson, rush coming, and he's taken down. Sione Takitaki leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. A tie game. I don't think anybody in this building, including you or I, was expecting that.
No, I would agree with that totally. I didn't expect to see it at all, but I kind of like where they were going with this. You know, as you said, tie game, trying to steal a possession, steal an advantage, and you told your defense at the half you were going to do it, which also told them that you had confidence in them in case it failed, as that one just did.
Yeah, now you've given good field position here to start the third quarter.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Real.
Check this guy.
The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run it again with Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Regular. Switch.
Chubb on the counter. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
180. Pistol. Shoot. King.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Alert!
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Regular.
Check. Lucky.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for a Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would have been a lot better, but the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation, probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line is getting there. Congratulations to all.
Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
And the Seahawks, first down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now Wilson on first down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. To throw is Wilson, being chased out left. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, it's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wilson. Dancing, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes. We're trying to put him.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Run. Pistol.
Check safety.
Pistol.
Big Mike 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 38 yards. And the Browns are going to...
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my master.